Alright. I'm just gonna watch, like, the first fight, give or take, and we'll see where you're at, and then I'm gonna start talking about things. Painful without apple? Oof. Unfortunate, my friend. Any chance you can get, like, the throat numbing spray? That stuff always, like, worked really well for me, but only for, like, 5 minutes at a time, which was kind of unfortunate. Okay. I have a lot to talk about from just this one bit, and I'm gonna, like, try not to talk too much, but while we're here, probably the single most important thing I'm gonna talk about in this VOD, and I'm probably gonna keep harping on it throughout, and, like, apologies in advance, because, like, you don't know what you don't know, you're gonna keep making the same mistake, but I'm gonna keep pointing it out, because it's huge, yeah? Whatever else you're doing, stand right here. Literally that tiny change. Just always be physically touching a corner, yeah? And then, like, if some asshole shows up over there, you can be like, whoop, we out, yeah? As your tanks push up, you can push up to another corner. You can, like, push up to other corners. You probably wouldn't, like, grab this one in particular. I'm just, like, illustrating, like, you could pick whichever side you want, whichever corner feels safest to you, and, like, experience will help you pick, like, oh, hey, this corner, like, seems to be pretty OP. This one, I die, like, 3 times out of 5 every time I'm here, so I won't. But anyway, just always be physically touching cover, yeah? Oh, shit, this isn't a spite VOD, so I'm gonna change that. Whoops. This is a bronze 1 Ana. Boom. Noted, literally. Awesome. And then, second thing is, so, people say that, like, Overwatch 2, you know, the supports are super exposed, no, you know, no one peels, there isn't anyone to peel for you, blah, 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 blah. That's not entirely true. I think a lot of people lost their fucking minds when this game came out. It's not that different from Overwatch 1. Like, some things have changed, but a bigger change is the fact that, like, any individual tank is now basically unkillable. But anyway, I digress. All of that to say, like, in an ideal world, like, this dude would peel for you. Even this dude might peel for you. But in ranked, even in Overwatch 1, until, like, Masters, no one is ever gonna peel for you. It is a sad state of affairs. Fun fact, if you are lower elo playing a hero like Lucio, you can hard carry games just by being the one person in the lobby that actually peels their Ana. But anyway, that was the first time I carried out a low elo. That was how I did it, was just hard peeling. But anyway, all of that to say, we're hard scoped, yeah? And, like, I'm not even saying don't scope in to take those shots. Like, you could probably unscope them, but, like, scoping is fine. But only scope in for, like, 2 or 3, and then just do that. Yeah? Just, like, a quick flick. And if we're steady on cover, yo, shoot, shoot, boom. Shoot, 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 boom. Shoot, yeah? And just, like, build that little mechanical habit of always looking around, and you'll be surprised by so much less. You'll catch so much more out early, and the earlier you catch things out, like, the more time you have to make a good decision rather than just, like, spam the sleep dart and hope to God it lands, right? You mind if I tack on a VOD of the team again at the end? Nah, I'm into it. Shit. I think I had another thing, but you know what? Let's just watch you play some more. But yeah, upping your own awareness is huge. Yeah. Right? Like, it's so early that the likelihood of somebody flanking you, it's slim to none, right? But Uh, Still just like the habit, right? Also, as like a mechanical thing to practice, I highly recommend Ana players warm up in like Ana paintball or try hard free for all modes. Uh, and like maybe play them in queues a bit, stuff like that. On a paintball's great because your sleep's on a 2 second cooldown, so you get to practice those a lot, and your sleeps will get a lot better. Uh, but the other thing I love about on a paintball modes is they don't let you hard scope, and practicing quick scopes like this would be an amazing moment to quick scope, right? Um, it's at a range where you probably don't want to unscope this. I mean, you could because it's an Orisa, but like, whatever, this is fine. But you also want to be moving and rotating. Uh, you don't need to be able to quick scope until like plat or diamond. Really, diamond, you need it. Plat, it's good. But just like practicing that mechanical skill now, it's so strong. It's so good. Like I said, you don't need it now, but it'll help you anyway. When will I do yours? I'll try to get it done today. I want to do as many as I can today, but I still like need a pack and a bunch of other things. Oh, I remember the other thing. This is like kind of minor, but just like good sort of general on a philosophy. And there's like some nuance to this, but like as a nice starting point, play to farm your nano as fast as you can. And what I mean by that is your Sojourn's only missing like 30, 40 health. You won't get full value off of your dart, off of your 70 healing on her, but shooting this Orisa, you do. You get the full 70 charge, right? So, it's kind of like a backwards way of helping you prioritize targets. Should I be healing? Should I be doing damage? And it's if you will get full value off of your shot healing, then heal your team because you have a half meter buff to friendly hitboxes. So like you can miss your Sojourn by a full half a meter and it'll still register the shot as a hit. So if we're farming our ult as fast as we can, these are just easier shots to hit on our own team. And then at long distances where hitting shots might be difficult, shooting tanks is great because, fun fact, your dart doesn't have a damage reduction into armor. You do full damage into armor because you're technically a damage over time effect. So you're getting full value shooting this Orisa, and you're also helping chip away at her armor, which is really nice. Anytime, though, that you are at a range where you can hit a squishy, hitting the squishy is best. And all of that farming your ult nonsense goes out the door anytime you see somebody 3 bars or less. If you can kill them, murder them. Yeah? Oh, thanks so much for the gifted sub. Yay, Midna. Yeah, it's poking my tank to try and get it. Cool. Yeah. Taking the lead. So it can be so like this is so much easier said than done. But especially when it counts, especially when it really matters, take a breath and hit the shot because it takes nearly a full second. It's like 0.9 seconds between shots. So if you miss, it's nearly a full second before you get to try again. But if you take a half a second to just make sure it lands, that's so much better. Yeah, eventually, like when we're Diamond Masters pushing top 500, you're gonna have to be lightning fucking quick. Right now, hit the shot. Yeah, be patient. Be very, very chill. Sleep darts too. Sleep darts can be really hard. That's why like practicing it on a paintball is really good. But like Uh, Stepping to the side here makes it a little bit easier because then you're not turning your back on people who are shooting you. And being shot just makes everything more stressful, right? So the less stress we're under, the easier it is to take that breath and hit our shot. So we just take that step to the side there, yeah? Whoop. Where is it? Oh, I didn't go back far enough. I think. Or maybe it... Yeah, here it is. Cool. What was your thought with this nade here? Or I guess, do you have a thought process with your nade cooldown? Because it's super important with you. Wanted to boost the healing? Okay. I understand the thought process, and it makes a lot of sense, right? Your teams, especially your tank, is in it. They're taking damage. They're fighting. And you do get that extra boost to healing. The thing is, you do so much healing for the few seconds that they're naded. Especially with like a Sigma here, especially if he has his cooldowns, it's incredibly difficult for them to focus him down for those few seconds, and you can, in fact, burst him up through their damage. So, whoop. I don't know why it keeps doing that every time I pull out my pin tool. Anyway, if you wait until he's like low and then nade him, first the nade is gonna burst him up some, but for like super efficiency, if you like really want to get your burst somebody up, shoot nade shoot does 70 plus 60 plus 105 from the second shot. So that's what, like almost 250 health? Yeah. So let him go down, shoot nade shoot, another shot if they need it, and this guy's basically good to go, right? I'm not saying don't use your nade on your team or like friendly nade to help with healing, but its true strength is in anteing somebody that your team is shooting. And I'll talk about that a bit more in a second, but like, if you're going to use it for friendly, it's because you need to, yeah? They will die if I don't do this. And then we nade our team, yeah? But if we have the option to use it offensively instead, it's much, much better. I'll try to talk some more about it, but like the trick with that in bronze is understand that no one will ever follow up on your nade. Ever. What'll happen is one of two things. If you're lucky, your team will do nothing. And if you are unlucky, your team will wait until that anti-effect has worn off, and then they will hard int and die. Yeah? You'll bait them in and kill them. Those are like your two options in lower elo, unfortunately. But better, instead, is look at who is being shot by your team and follow up on the damage. So their supports can't heal them up, can't keep them alive through it, yeah? So, like, anteing this guy and healing both of you right now would be awesome. You don't know he's there, that's unfortunate, but whatever. But if this nonsense isn't going on, I see Sigma walking down a Moira. I don't know if this Moira's used Fade or not, but if you throw your nade at her, if she's in an elo like this, she may have faded in which case, if you nade her right now, she will probably die. If she hasn't used her fade, she will immediately fade, and she'll have to play back and safe, or she risks dying, right? Fade is a shorter cooldown than nade, so like it's not ideal of a trade, but you can force her out, right? Or get her killed. nading the Orisa isn't really worth. It used to be, you anti the enemy tanks, right? Uh, because the anti only lasts for 3 seconds, and because tanks are fucking unkillable right now, especially like Orisa who can still fortify through it, it's generally not worth it to anti the tanks. Anti a squishy that's being shot at actively. Ooh. Oh dang. I missed telemessages. Hey, Akara, NGC. Ooh. Okay. Sorry. Yep, that's you. Boom. No. Let's watch a little more before I talk some more. So that right there, the sleep dart into the fortified Orisa, when she's in gold, when she's all shiny Pokemon style, she's immune to all CC. She can't be booped. She can't be slept. But also, sleep. Sleeping the tank again just isn't worth it because the tank won't die. So all you did was bought a couple of seconds at best where you can't shoot the tank because you'll wake them, but at least the tank isn't doing anything. And it's a 15-second cooldown now, right? It is so long. So save it because it's the only thing that's going to save your ass if somebody dives you. And otherwise, use it to shut something down, yeah? So either somebody is diving you and you need to save your ass, or there are a ton of ultimates that you can cancel with sleep. It's a skill shot, it's hard as shit, but it's really fucking satisfying when you do it, yeah? When this Moira pops Cole and you just put her ass to bed, oh my god.
Secure and ready to move.
Exerting force on the barricade.
Covering you. Keep them in.
Aww. Unlucky. You can't heal through a Widow headshot, so like, even if you had been faster, he was dead anyway. So, I like the movement. The movement is great. The movement's getting you out of here alive. You might even be able to finish off that Junkrat. We'll see in a second. But, pathing, yeah? Also, shout out to the bronze player that recognized a lost fight and left. You don't see that shit. Below, like, Diamond Masters. Sometimes not even then. Anyway, I this is a new map, and, like, I'm not even super familiar with the new maps yet. I gotta work on that. But, rather than coming down main, coming through here gets you around this corner faster and breaks LOS that much faster versus the long straight sight line. Yeah? So, like, good movement. Good job getting it out. But it could have been a lot easier. I wasn't sure which windows were open or not, so I just ran back the way I came. Yeah, I figured it was map familiarity, but it is something to think about. And a fun fact about Overwatch maps. How high up? Ooh, shiny. Whoa. Sorry, I haven't actually done this on this map before. That's pretty. Also, all of that... here's the playable area. And then there's just nothing. Anyway, almost every part of every map in this game is built around 3 lanes. And sometimes the lanes get funky and weird. This one is probably one of those. So we got like lane, 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 and then like a lane. You can go through these buildings, right? You can kind of like reduce these maps to a grid. Sometimes the grid like curves on itself, and like I said, this is like an ish. Sometimes the maps have like 2 lanes, sometimes it's 4, sometimes it's just fucking weird. But generally speaking, you can assume on almost every map in the game that there will be a side path, a flanky sort of path to the left or to the right. So even if you aren't familiar with the map, just pick one side of main and you will probably find a path there almost every time. Yeah? Wee. Wait, that's not you. That's you. All right. I troll widows and diamond by out shooting them as Kiriko. Oh yeah, the Kiriko voice lines are so good. She's such a dick. So the hard scoping and the open space, but so to help you with your positioning, because like positioning is just a whole thing in and of itself. But I guess the starting points are, you know, we want to have cover and we want to have some kind of escape route if we can. But also, well, sorry, let me start over to rephrase that. So you want cover, and then you want to plan 2 rotations. This is just your starting point. Yeah, there's a lot more that can go into positioning, but plan where you are going to go if you go forward, and where you are going to go if you need to back out. Yeah? And just know those 2 things. And then, so like right here, we could be playing here, healing our team, we're safe, but we know that our team is going to push down there. So maybe we look to rotate around this, because that then gives us there. And that way we can like path through cover and follow our team around. And then, you know, if they get pushed, we can back into here, play safe, and we can just like keep backing out with our team. We are kind of stuck on this side though, and this is where like maybe this isn't the best spot, right? Because if we have to back out, we get sort of trapped here. Because if we have to back out here, now we're in open space, and this just leads us off into Narnia, right? So maybe we just start on the bus and we try to back out up this way, etc. Yeah, this is just like to give you ideas. This is like how you should be thinking about your positioning, right? And then experience is going to help. Like maybe experience is going to tell you, well, if I go for this is just too long exposed and I'm going to die. Yeah? Maybe this is better even if it has some trade-offs, right? So try things. But think about where you're going next if you have to go in, where you're going next if you have to back up, and then just keep that process going. We moved into our next spot. Okay, so where do I want to go next? You know what? Fuck it. Let's cross through this way, because this is hella safe, yeah? Boom. Etc., etc., etc. The around the bus spot is what I was trying to go for. I chose the open part because I wanted to be more aggro. Should I have been a bit safer? So, aggression is excellent, but you hit those exact same shots standing like right here, where at the very least, if somebody like pops up to fuck with you, we can get around a corner super fast. There are very few true one-shots in this game. Like, there's a couple, like Widow, Hanzo, Sojourn come to mind, right? And so you have to be really careful how you play around one-shot heroes. But with everything else, you can be a little bit loose with your positioning so long as you are close enough to cover that you can't be shot twice, right? So a spot like this, we can peek, do stuff, boom, we're safe. Yeah, we are unlikely to die to anyone on the enemy team right now. Well, I say that, they have a Widow, so like, if Widow pops up on the flank over here, we could legitimately die, but that's part of the problem with Widow, right? If she pops up on an angle on you, you can legitimately die. So the only thing I have to say about that really is just do your absolute best to know where the Widow is at all times, and if you don't, be fucking looking around, right? You go back to the Boyra snipe, that's how I ended up in that open? Alright, wait, that's not you. That's you. Yeah. It should be noted, so I'm not going to say never duel the Widow, because you can actually be one of the better heroes to take that duel if you can take that particular duel. Like, she wins this on paper. You have to hit her 3 times, she has to hit you once. But your shots are a little bit easier to land, right? So if you're just a better shot than this Widow, and you've seen that in the game, then sure, challenge her to a duel. I don't hate it. But you need to be really, really careful because she has an inherent advantage, right? If you are equal skill, she will win. Yeah. Oh, right. But, and actually this is a great time to see. If you're going to duel her, try to do unscopes, because while she's scoped in, she barely moves, right? She's so slow. And so you can actually hit these even at long range. She's not going to dodge them. And it allows you to move faster and like crouch spam and stuff so you're harder to hit. And if you scope in, look how you lean forward and like put your head forward. It is actually easier to land a headshot on you. Not just that you move slower, but your head hitbox is physically more forward, front and center. So scoping against the Widow is very scary, to say the least. Okay. Alright, we try to heal our Lucio through the ult, through his ult. I love that. Oh. What? You get... Oh, he amps speed. I was like, did I put this on... Your Lucio amp speed at such a weird time. I thought I had put this on, like, fast forward.
Barricades moving out.
Just in case you weren't aware, wall hacks last for 15 seconds. And I swear one of the most useful calls you could ever make in any ranked game. I get people in comms might be a little intermittent, but on the off chance, is do the math, subtract 15 seconds from the current time, and say walls until, and tell them that time. Yeah? You will be shocked at how much that actually reminds them that, oh yeah, she has wall hacks, maybe I shouldn't peek the fucking Widow. Like, the voice line doesn't, but you telling them when the wall hacks will end does. Anyway. We try. That would have been a situation where you could have, like, shoot, nade, shoot. Put the first shot in because you want to try to, like, heal them up, but you could have thrown the nade in there to try to heal through the damage, but I take it back. Sorry, that was bad advice. In some situations, that would be a thing you could do, but specifically because they have Widow, and like Zen, who's just gonna charge up a 5 orb into the dude's head. Like you can't possibly out heal this, so there's no point, right?
Close your eyes.
Again, good movement, but we're trying to like dodge the Widow or just ignore the Widow, and you kind of can't. She got an angle on you, and you don't have a good route out. If you were in, maybe you could like come to this sort of thing, but like now that you're here, and you were playing on a corner, which I like, right? But now she's popped up here. Come to here to at least break LOS of everyone else. Get your movement going, and it is time for you to duel a Widow, my friend, because it's your only way out. Bronze, silver, gold, that's intermittently true because that Widow, who knows if she's ever going to hit the shot, right? But if we assume that our opponents are competent, the only way you get out of this situation alive is to win it, which you absolutely can, yeah? A range like this, you can hit the unscopes, and if your movement is good, you could actually roll this Widow. So yeah, you don't want to take the duel if you can avoid it, but you couldn't avoid it anymore there, right? I say that, and you almost get out. Dang, you peeked a little bit too far because you were getting chased by the Zen. Oh, you were getting chased by everyone. Yeah, they were running your ass down. Okay. I want to back up and see how we got split. Because the big thing here... So, like, right now, everything's fine. Everything's fine. Okay. This is high level, and I don't want you to tunnel on it too hard, but actually, let's go to right here when you're just before your Sojourn gets trapped. Whoop. Let's talk about map control. Enemy, they're all coming from this way, right? So, right now, you are kind of forming a triangle with your team. Yeah, this is good. This is what you want to do. You don't want to be in a line. You want to be a point of a triangle, and you want to be the point that is furthest from the enemy. So right now, this is really good positioning. Yeah? No one can possibly get to you without... They literally have to go... it's off the screen all the way. Like, in 10 years, they can come dive you. And that's it, right? You're so safe. This is why I'm like... guys, things haven't changed all that much. You can still be protected. You just have to kind of be bigger brain about it than before. So, whoop. Oh. There we go. All good, all good, all good. That trap, and boom. The moment this happened, you lost the point of the triangle, and now we need to recreate that triangle. Put more simply, they now have a direct route to us. We need to fucking move. Yeah? Might be an easier way to think about it. Come on. There we go. Because now we just got a line, right? So, options could... You could actually move to here. With this wall right there, like, you're actually incredibly hard to push. And you can still kind of see into here. But you're not impossible to push, right? If they have somebody with mobility, they don't, but like if they had a Genji or something, he could just hop over there and murder you. So maybe better would be, I was saying earlier, now would be like this exact moment when they died. Now is when you go to rotate in here and maybe even push to here and maybe even like start pushing to here, or like you could look to play in this doorway, but that's a little aggro. Like that's if you want to do some DPS. But, like, I hope that makes sense. Like, I'm giving you, like, a ton of options here because there isn't, like, necessarily always going to be a clear answer, but that's kind of how you want to be thinking about it, maybe. I was afraid of Junkrat. That movement is what I ended up doing, but I was too slow on that decision. Yeah. And, like, you end up getting chased down, and it ends up being a series of reactions, right? Like, shit, they're after me, I have to do this. Now this person's after me, I have to do that. And, like, that sucks. It's just a terrible position to be in, and it's really hard to make good decisions and, like, get things done. So, for your decision-making, do I have a DPS or a tank standing in the way of the enemy's route to me? Yes? Good. If not, time to move. Or, like, if this DPS dies or leaves, now I need to GTFO as well, right? Like I said, don't tunnel on that too hard. That's kind of a bigger brain concept, and I think that one can be like a little bit hard to recognize in the moment until you've worked on like the other stuff, and the other stuff is going to be more important. But wait, help. Yo, Fezzy, how's it going? I'm doing good. I'm going to Chicago tomorrow morning, so that's nice. Update happened. Oh wait, no, wait, did the codes get nuked? Yeah. Boom. And the Widow takes that space, which forces us in, and then we just have nowhere to go. It is Halloween time. I should figure out what I'm gonna wear.
My ultimate is ready.
Checking codes now? Oh, cool, thanks. Can still see your replays? Awesome. Yeah, like, I hope they don't nuke the codes until, like, next season. She's not fun anymore. Aw, I think Tracer's still fun. She's just, you can't, like, fully one-clip a full health squishy very reliably anymore, but so the shot into the Junkrat, great, yeah? But then walking past the corner, no point. He's gonna go, he's one of two things, right? He's either going to peek back at you trying to shoot you, which now you can dodge his grenades really easily and maybe you can kill him, or he's going to go to that high ground, which means you can peek him from right here, right? And then from here, we can see everything that's going on. And we could actually just chill in this high ground and just hit our shots for, like, the remainder of this fight, I think. Whoop. Yeah. Look at all these opportunities you get by staying on this off angle. It does carry risks, but it's Overwatch 2, like, supports have to take risks and make plays sometimes. And I've seen your mechanics. Like, if you are smart about how you take the fight, like, if you play around cover, if you're careful, and if you don't, like, panic your shots, you're gonna roll this kid. You're going to absolutely murder this Junkrat and carry a fight because you kill the DPS, right? And even better, doing it from a position where you can also see your team so you can, like, emergency help them if you need to. Passive ain't for you. Been enjoying May. I just play her like Overwatch 1 Zarya. Oh no. I mean, that's how I've been playing Lucio. Lucio's an off tank. you're like a primary target for Tire. So backing away from your team, splitting from them, and hiding like that, A+. Good job. Because then, like, if it gets you, at least it only got you, yeah? Aw, we missed the nade. That would have been a good friendly nade. And then, see that crit marker on the left? Our tank's fine, yeah? He's already backed out. He's back into his shield health. Your Lucio might actually die, though, yeah? So now it's time to, like, pivot targets and try to, like, save Master Moose here.
I see you.
Enemy has claimed the robot.
You could nano your Sig, too. Yeah?
Taking care of
You should be dead. Yeah? That right there, that's the sort of thing that will just hard throw games, like even in silver and gold, let alone higher. We're chilling right here. Yeah? Yes, Sig backed out of our LOS, which is his mistake to make. But if we see that happening, like I said, just nano him. Yeah? Nano to save a 1 HP target, especially a tank, is a massive play because it bursts them up for like 300 healing, plus the damage reduction, plus the damage buff. And when they see this tank 1 HP, what do? They hard W into him. They're all low ground chasing this dude down. They overextend. So if you nano him, now that they're all overextended to chase the kill, you just turn this fight around. It goes the other way instead. There's a streamer I really like, Paz, who calls nano his Uno reverse card. Yeah? Oh, you thought you were going to kill my tank? Well, my tank is now murdering you instead. Because he's just super powered. And then we'd still be like full health behind cover. We could maybe land a nade, like do all kinds of things, contribute damage. Like you were in a really good spot.
I appreciate the support.
Yep. And then peeking the Widow. Okay, this is better, but yep. Be real careful about peeking that Widow, yeah? These are the sorts of, like, habits that can be hard to notice in lower elo where, like, everyone misses shots all of the time. Pretend that the entire enemy team has aimbot, is aim locking, yeah? This Widow is just, like, hard hacking Widow. How do you play against that? You hide from her. So she never, ever, ever sees you. Yeah? Play like they're not going to miss. And you'll find yourself rarely ever dying. Or getting forced out. Like, to be fair, you haven't been dying a lot. At all? Even, maybe? I don't know. You've been living really fucking good. So, like, kudos there. But you have gotten, like, forced out of good angles because you've taken damage, or just, like, maybe you should have died, but you didn't, right? These hard-to-notice things where I'm making mistakes that aren't being punished is exactly what I wanted this particular match reviewed for. Awesome. Yeah, that's why, so, on a paintball, A+ for practicing your quick scopes and your sleeps, but try hard free-for-all will make you a better player overall. Because, don't get discouraged. You're going to go into, like, a try-hard free-for-all lobby, and most of those lobbies, you'll see, like, maybe some plat players, but mostly it's Diamond, Masters, GM players warming up, like, before scrims or before they queue or whatever. So you will get a hard farm by people that are just way, way above your skill level, right? Fuck it. Who cares? Focus first on living your movement. AD, crouch spamming, hiding around corners, getting away, etc. Just be as hard as possible to kill of a grandma that you can be, right? And then on top of, like, at the same time or after that, start practice, actually 1v1ing them, killing them. Like, if you can take the 1v1 with the Genji, then it doesn't matter that this Lucio's never going to peel the Genji off of you, right? And because you're used to dueling, Plat, Diamond, Masters, Genjis, when you get the Bronze, Silver Genji who tries his hardest, bless his heart, you're going to sit his ass down, right? So yeah, like, on a paintball, try-hard free-for-all are, like, the best warm-ups, the best practice you can do outside of just, like, playing more comp. Yeah, and I mentioned the sleep before. We just want to be more thoughtful with our sleep. We keep throwing it into the Orisa when she's fortified or doing her little spin-to-win thing. Her spinny boy. That was asleep because I just knew I was dead. Alright, you know what? If you know you're dead and you're just spamming out your cooldowns before you go, fuck it, whatever. Dang. That was meant for the Brig, who fed. But, again, 15-second cooldown, your nade's only 10, and nade will fuck a Brig's day up, because they just expect to be tanky and unkillable because of their self-heal and their shield. But it's so easy to just drop the nade around the side of the shield and get them behind their own shield, because its AoE is pretty big, or like hit it on a wall. And then she doesn't have the self-heal, and because she's playing so far forward, like, she dies anyway because she's hard feeding. But a lot of Brigs that would expect to be able to get out alive will not, because you dropped a nade on them. Do we see the trap? Do we see the trap? We don't see the trap, but I think he threw out a new one. Yeah, okay. The first time wasn't a fluke. This is just a thing we know to do. That's awesome. Cool. Yeah, you're... Like, honestly, like, it seems like a silly thing to compliment, but you would be shocked at how high you have to climb before you see people able to recognize that a fight is lost and who will actually then back out to live afterwards the way you have been doing. A+. It's a little bit depressing how high you will have to climb before you see your teammates doing that too, reliably. Thanks for the 100 bits, Powder Ski. Oh, yay. Tanks a lot. Oh, no. That was a good nade. But here, this is, like, scary. And this plays a little bit into all the other positioning things that I've talked about, and this will just sort of happen anyway with good positioning, but one way to recognize in the moment that your positioning is bad and you need to change, like, even before this, like, I just happened to pause it on, like, the obvious moment where you're frontlining, but, like, even before this, when you have to turn around to see everything that is going on, yeah? There's 9 other people all moving through space, all shooting each other. There's all kinds of shit going on, cooldown, like, it's fucking insane. And there is there's no magic trick to like awareness where like high elo players can just look at this and know what's happening here. Their big secret is they stand here where they can see it all, right? Or if that's just not an option, they're looking around a lot, but like that's so hard. The more you have to turn around, the more confusing and panicked everything is going to feel, and just the harder everything's going to be. So anytime you find yourself doing that, back up. Back up to somewhere where you can see everyone and everything that's going on, and then make a decision. Decide what you need to do from there, or where you need to go from there, right? 8 other at this point. I suppose... Oh, yeah, you are... Right, you guys lost one. Whoops, I forgot about that bit. Boom. The game is way easier to track at 10 instead of 12. It is. I mean... Without an off-tank shutting down, like, the whole... there to help shut down, like, the entire fucking map, the game has to condense into smaller parts of the map. If that makes sense, right? So it's just easier to see everyone, because... Why on earth would there be a fight for this space right now? Why? Why would you ever? But in 6v6, you would probably want to. You would probably have somebody over here because it would give access, right, to backlines. But now, that access just exists. Yeah? Nothing you can do about it. They will always have a route to you, and it's just a matter of making that route, like, not very tenable. If where you're at right now, you see them coming. Yeah? The technical term for this is distance from angles. So right here, you have distance from like this angle where they might get you, or this angle, etc. Anyone that's going to come walk on you, you see from like way off, but you don't have distance from like this side over here. So the risk to where you're playing really is if somebody manages to sneak out that door, come up here and sneak through, or has the mobility to jump through this window and sneak around, yeah? Risk analysis. That's not something to stress about yet, but... Played a game yesterday where the enemy Pharah got a 4-man poop off the corner up there. Ooh, nice.
They've taken possession of the robot.
Good sleep. But again, Nade fucks up Rick's day. Yeah. So we rotate out late. You got caught in the ult too, but here, I'll actually show you the exact moment we needed to leave. So first off, we hear that. We know they're going to push. So, while ordinarily I'd be like, yeah, you're taking cover, that's amazing. This side is the wrong side because you don't have a way out to, like, you don't have a way out without having to then cross this open space, right? So... Rally's not going to get you from range. None of them are going to get you from range. Your 6 even using a suck. Boom. We cross now, and we start backing out now. Now. Yeah? Follow, like, back out so you can, like, help your Sig and your Sojourn get out if you can. Best you can. But, like, this was your moment to already be leaving. Because we know they're going to push us, right? But because we hesitate here... they get a lot closer, which allows the ult to suck you in, and blah, 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 blah. 10 years later, we eventually die. But that was... the moment we died was when we stood here for literally 2 seconds. Too long. That was it. Unfortunate. So, that prediction stuff, it's really hard in the moment, and like experience will also help, but it's part of the like where am I going next planning. Yeah, if they push me, where do I go? So you just already know, and then when you hear ults go off, people push with ults, or they should. Hopefully they push with ults. So I'm going to start my rotation back that I've already pre-planned because I hear an ult going off. My team's ulting. I'm going to be ready to push with them if they push. Don't push ahead of them, especially in bronze where they might not push even when they should. But, you know, we're ready to, because if they do, then we're right there with them. That.
Impede the enemy barricade.
Cool.
My ultimate is charging.
We're getting towards the end here. Do you have any questions about any of this?
My ultimate is charging.
Overtime. Stop them and it's over.
So the colors are fucked because of the replay viewer, but that is your bubble, even though it's the wrong color.
Mess with the flies.
Almost there.
Priority list for next things to learn. So, the first thing, I'm gonna give you three things, but one of them kind of has subcategories. So the biggest thing is positioning. And within that, always be on corner or cover. And like just building that as a hard habit, like starting to feel nervous anytime you catch yourself in open space, right? And B, rotations. Where am I going next? Yeah. And eventually this will get weirdly more complex and more simple in that you'll just be so familiar with all of your options that you won't have to make these plans anymore, and it'll be way more than two. Yeah? The one option forward, one option back is like a starting point. Eventually it's going to be, well, if a Genji comes from this angle and it's noon on a Sunday, like, nah, maybe not quite that bad, but two, oh, right. Two was awareness. Which is every like 3 to 5 seconds, look around, see everything that's going on, and like check your six, yeah? Head on a swivel. Check the angles where a flanker might come from, just looking around. And additionally, positioning in a position where you're not like in the middle, but you're off, you know, the triangles, or just backing out to see everything, or whichever one of the many analogies I used made the most sense. Awareness. Yeah. And then 3, cooldowns. Let's put CDs. My beautiful handwriting. Let's make that slightly less embarrassing. Just putting more thought into your cooldowns. So saving your sleep to either save yourself from a diver or to cancel something big, and getting the most value you can out of your nade. Only using it on teammates if you have, like, if they will die otherwise, and otherwise looking for offensive opportunities on anyone your team is already focusing down. Anyone they're already chasing or fighting. HUD corners have applied for forward and backing out when hard scoping. Take a moment to check flanks. Killer, full heal, shoot, nade, shoot, use nade. Yep. Crouch spam. Yep. Dag. Yeah. So should I focus more on practicing those things than the FFA? Yeah, for sure. Or maybe another way is this is what you focus on in a game, but in between games or to warm up or whatever, free for all is great for practicing your mechanics. And the more time you spend practicing your mechanics, the less you will have to think about them in a game. So the more brain space you'll have to think about this stuff in the game instead. So you can do both, just like one at a time, right? Practice your mechanics or work on this stuff like in game.